I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
Activism is people fighting for what they believe in.
People protesting.
Someone being able to have the voice to speak up for what they believe in, not holding it back.
I think people use it as an excuse to do bad things.
To me, activism is the voice of the people. It's something that gives us a reason to fight for. I would always fight for family and friends.
Being able for people to understand me and for I to understand others.
I would fight for injustice in the world.
I would want to change how people are being treated.
But I want to change people to not see it as just a one-way thing. Instead, just seeing it as it could go two different ways, or that it's not always just this.
I have a dream. Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
Under the debris of collapsed neighborhoods, buildings that once housed first-generation children, the cooking of tortillas, tamales, frijoles, but are now replaced with white rice and Asian dishes, and great white sharks with porcelain smiles. Still, under yielded walls and ceilings, I find her. My name is Thea Matthews. I'm a poet, spoken word artist, and curator. I've served as a creative communications instructor, teaching youth ways to creatively communicate through poetry, writing, journaling, what have you. And as a poet, spoken word artist, I'm like, okay, poetry plus activism equals poetivism.
My name is Susan Cervantes, and I am a muralist, and I'm also founding director of Preceded Eyes Mural Arts Center. Painting is my passion, and that's what I've been able to share with the community through a collaborative mural process. Been doing murals for over 40 years, and I believe that it represents and is inclusive of all people, and that is what we offer to make changes and transformation in the community.
I love artivism. I love it deeply and profoundly because it's art plus activism equals artivism. It's the intention of utilizing art as a way to activate, right? As a way to invoke emotion, invoke change, invoke action, from the viewer, the reader, the participant, as well as the one who's creating the art too.
There's a lot of individuals, there's some that really have issues and want to, promote their own personal campaign for issues. It could be gentrification, it could be violence, in the community. There's a lot of things like that, but they also, when I go into a community, they want to see what we can do to make the world better as well. I think it gives us an opportunity to find solutions for those issues that we have right now, and they can be resolved in the process of mural making. Well, I would just like to see people having more tolerance of each other, respectful of each other, understanding their differences and what they have in common, respecting each other's culture. I think there's a lot to learn from each other, and if you give people that opportunity, we could all coexist.
Being a poetivist is very much important because, taking a step back and from my experience as an activist, I've come to realize I don't necessarily think or believe that a law can dismantle hate, that a law or policy can dismantle fear, or that a law or policy can dismantle, different forms of toxic perspectives that hurt others and hurt, yourself. I don't think a law can do that. However, I do think that poetry and any form of art can. I believe art can dismantle hate, can dismantle fear, can dismantle all forms of injustice, and can help shift, or it can help provide a paradigm shift that we're all searching for.
And I whisper, I am here, Mahita, my little daughter inside. I watched her battles thaw with the sun on her fingertips, the stars she blew for wishes, the crown of light her black frizzled curls molded, resembling a moon of a dandelion. I turn her on her side, pat her back as she coughs up old debris, vomiting up twisted, suffocating serpents, hollowed eye sockets, malevolent tongues she's been choking on for years. Now flap like fish out of water beside her. She breathes, stops holding her breath, inhales a newfound trust from the love I give her. And together we exhale, together we breathe, together we walk in reunion, for she is mine and mine alone. No one can have her.
Black Lives Matter is a movement where people get together to stop the violence against Black people. The way they do this are by protesting, trying to educate people about police violence, fundraising, town hall meetings, strategy meetings, and more. It was formed by 3 people named Alicia Garza, Patrice Cullors, and Opal Tometi. It was in response to Trayvon Martin being killed and the murderer George Zimmerman getting away with it. My opinion on Black Lives Matter movement is that it is very important because there are numerous amounts of people that have got shot by police and random people. The Black Lives Matter community has done a lot to raise awareness, but there is still a lot that needs to be done.
When we're in positions of struggle, oftentimes we can't even think enough to think our way out, but also we're caught up in these cycles of addiction, trauma. Severe mental illness comes from the trauma that's caused by it. It's an endless vortex. So these are all related. And in the case of trying to help fellow poverty scholars who are currently in struggle, how are we going to help each other?
The Bay Area has one of the largest and least sheltered homeless populations in the country. Although this is one of the most prosperous regions in the world, every night thousands of people sleep on the streets. According to the 2016 Annual Homeless Assessment Report conducted for Congress, Oakland and San Francisco has made the top 10 cities in the nation for the highest percentage of its total population experiencing homelessness.
We survive by any means necessary on the street. A lot of people talk about resilience when they talk about poor people. I think it's that we get up another day and we put on our clothes and we do whatever we got to do to survive.
Oakland is the 8th most populous city in California with an estimated 420,000 people. Oakland's homeless population is conservatively estimated at 2,761. Over 300 of the homeless people counted last year during a county census were children, and 68% of the city's homeless are African American. With issues affecting the environment, as well as violations of basic human rights, local Oakland communities have taken the call to action to find solutions to problems that burden their city. We traveled to East Oakland and talked to Tiny, aka Lisa Garcia, who is the founder of Poor Magazine, a nonprofit organization dedicated to providing revolutionary media access, art, education, and advocacy to silenced youth, adults, and elders in poverty across the globe.
Poor Magazine is in fact Poe. When you're in poverty, when you're on the street, I couldn't even think, right? But when these things happened, I started to conceptualize the concept of Poor Magazine. I started to realize that there was a way for us as poor people to resist through media, and that was a very powerful tool. Media and education systems were all about creating images and stories, information about us without us. We teach young people with race and class privilege about the concept of redistribution and community reparations, which is a concept that I came up with, around the idea that we're all connected and that we can all make a change through interdependence, not independence.
It's a safe environment. I'm not really judged for who I am in this type of environment. And also I get to help a lot of people who cannot help themselves. We try to spread the love of affection and what it means to treat another human like a human being and not like another pawn in the game.
We aren't trying to lie about who we are. We tell the truth. We live out loud every day. It's a struggle. Right now, we're dealing with trying to get a permit, to go forward in the project. We're stalled. Right now, we have a HEALS group from addiction through art, liberation, and spirit to help each other come up out of these systems. We tell our own stories because we refuse to continue this system that tells our stories about us without us.
Since 2005, the total homeless population in San Francisco has steadily increased, with no practical solution being presented anytime soon. According to a 2017 study conducted by the city of San Francisco, for every 100,000 people, 795 are homeless. The number of homeless single adults is 5,518. Unaccompanied youth, 1,363. Roughly 2,000 people are on a waiting list for a shelter. There are currently 1,200 beds in the shelter system. Out of the total homeless population in San Francisco, 3,680 people live in District 6, which includes much of the south of Market District and the Tenderloin District. With this in mind, we went to talk to Glide, a nonprofit organization in the Tenderloin District that provides various services for the poor and disenfranchised.
Glide has been around for a number of years, and we have a number of different programs focused on homeless services. We have a shelter program, we have, the shelter reservation program, where the participants will come in to get a reservation, work with them to get IDs, so we do like a voucher program. Right now, just the community, it's just difficult to find housing and affordable housing for individuals. I think that's, for all the programs that we have, I think that is the most difficult issue. We have so many people who are stuck on the streets and or in the shelters because they don't have a source of income, or they do have income but they just can't afford what the rates are for housing right now here in the city. A number of families, we have a number of single adults who just are stuck really in a situation where they don't have all their alternatives because they don't have the means to get where they need to be. So we have people who are stuck out on the street, and days like this in the rain, it's hard. We walk outside and there's people in sleeping bags sleeping under the awnings. It hurts my heart because it's not a whole lot that we can do. We try to provide whatever we can, but we can't help everyone in every moment, in every situation.
Hopes I have for the future, I hope to see low-income people have a lot more money. I wish to see a lot more people fed and not on the streets.
Just being able to reach the individuals who can make change happen. I think that would be my mode of activism. Just being able to, just shine some light to what the reality of what people are living in every single day. Because I think a lot of times it gets forgotten. We're in this community in the Tenderloin, and this is like the lowest served population that we deal with. When you walk out the door, you have people sleeping on the streets and don't have alternatives. So having that activism and being out there and pushing the forefront to just let people know, like, we have people who really, they have these real needs. We have the means to support them. We just need the means to make it happen.
Link up with other communities in poverty to realize definitely you're not alone. Homefulness, we've run out of money. We've raised enough for the 4 houses and for the siding, but each piece of it takes this big chunk of money, even though we're all building it ourselves. Us poor folks can actually create for ourselves, do for self, that actually in you if you're a poverty scholar with lived knowledge, that you have everything it takes to survive and thrive, and you'll make it.
What a beautiful day it is. The sun is shining, and the birds delightfully chirp away their pain and sorrows. The hero of this tale is a ball who is an activist, who is enjoying a delightful day at the park with his coffee in hand. He ends up at the park stage, where it seems like a lot of people are crowded. On the stage is a suspicious coat rack, though it doesn't look like the crowd is paying attention to it. The coat rack speaks to the audience, and as he continues, his mustache behaves extremely wild. As we can see, his mustache gets bigger every time he says something very wrong or absurd. The ball leaves the park stage and continues his walk at the park. He trips and rolls off to the park bulletin board. While there, he sees a wanted poster. As he looks further at the poster, he sees that the person on the poster is the coat rack from earlier. As he reaches the stage, he makes a massive jump, but he doesn't quite stick the landing. After that, he unconsciously rolls into the coat rack, knocking him into the stage lift. After witnessing this debacle, the audience grows furious with the ball, believing that he attacked the coat rack. A mob forms out of the chaos and begins an all-out assault towards him. The police come right in time after concerned citizens called about the chaos going on. The ball tells them about the con man. They find the injured con man in the stage lift. Accompanying them is an IRS agent. They arrest the con man for multiple accounts of conning and tax fraud. The police thank the ball for his contribution in helping them, that everyone leaves to do whatever they were doing. As for the ball, he continues to fight for what he believes in, equal rights for funny jokes.
I wish I could show people what great activist I am, but I'm just so tired and have all these online games I have to play. If only there was a way to be an activist without actually having to do activist stuff.
Are you tired of holding signs all day? Are you tired of marching for miles on end? Hi, I'm Doug Johnson, and have I got the solution for you? Introducing Easy Activist. Easy Activist is a new revolutionary method designed to help you make people think you're a great activist without having to do all the boring work real activists have to do. Easy Activist has all the tools you'll need to build up your reputation as a committed and dedicated activist. If you buy our Easy Activism Starter Pack, you'll receive items like a script that contains all the generic activist talking points and phrases you'll need to make people think you know what you're talking about. A list of current social and political issues, along with a short Cliff Notes version for each of them, since you have better things to do than research them yourself. And even your own copy and paste button, so you can lift words straight from the internet and pass them off as your own activist viewpoints. Coming up with your own ideas will be a thing of the past. Easy Activist can help you in tons of scenarios you find yourself in every day, such as Facebook arguments about politics, conversations on social issues, and the Thanksgiving dinner table. Easy Activist has helped millions of people across the nation. Just take a look at our long list of happy customers. Wow, that's a lot of customers. Still don't believe us? Well, why don't you hear from them yourself?
Now that I have Easy Activist, I no longer have to worry about all the silly stuff that makes people activists, like raising awareness or trying to bring change.
Before Easy Activist, I was just another boring face in the crowd, with nothing special about me. But now I can tell everyone that I'm a proud activist, and I didn't even have to leave my house.
So buy Easy Activist today, so you can be the activist you've always dreamed of being. Call now at 1-800-EASY-ACTIVIST.
Wow, what a great product. But that phone number looks really long, and I don't feel like dialing all that into my phone right now. I'll order it later.
Now, what is your emergency?
Please help. Someone got to high school. Please.
Oh, okay, all right. What's the address, ma'am?
I don't know, Pine Island Road.
Pine Island Road. Well, what school is it?
A shooter.
Okay, is anybody injured?
Yes, a lot of blood. Please help, please.
Okay, we're already starting the paramedics. Are you in a safe location to keep talking? Okay, do you know how many people are injured?
I don't know. School. It's a school. A big school.
My name is Riaz Abdullah.
Assia Suleiman. I'm 16 years old.
My name is Emily McDonald Dang. I'm 14.
My name is Robin Barnett Thomas, and I'm the Executive Director of the Giffords Law Center to Prevent Gun Violence.
I felt really scared and sad about the recent gun violence in schools.
For a lot of people, I know that, it's like, oh, this will never happen at our school and stuff, but as there are more and more mass shootings and school shootings, it makes me more like, wow, it actually might happen here.
I think every shooting affects us as teachers. As a high school teacher, this one affected me more. I think I was in shock, and when it really hit me was when I read the story of Coach Aaron Weiss, the football coach at the school, how, if I understand right, he physically pushed kids into a classroom to clear them out of the way and then jumped in front of bullets to save his students. And I saw him, and I saw pictures of him, and he just resembled a couple of teachers that I know here in the city and people that I care about. And something about that just made it viscerally real for me.
I've been the Executive Director of the Giffords Law Center for 12 years, and initially when I heard about the Parkland shooting, it was sort of like a feeling of Groundhog Day, because I've been through so many mass shootings in 12 years. I think when I heard about the Parkland shooting, I was devastated, and as I always am when these horrific tragedies happen, I don't think I realized at the time quite how significant of an event it would turn out to be.
One way that the shooting made me more aware of what was around us is how we had to do a lockdown drill shortly after the shooting, and we were all like huddled against the wall or hiding under the desks and imagining what it would be like if there was an actual shooter.
I think that we've become really desensitized to it, so it was kind of like, oh, just add another one onto the list.
The scary thing was that I didn't really feel surprised, and then I felt sad that I didn't feel surprised because it feels like we're getting news of mass shootings like every month or every week.
It's obviously a tragedy. I also think that it just happens so often. This is the 18th school shooting, I think, in 2.5 months in 2018. It's ridiculous. We have the highest rates of mass shootings and school shootings in the world. I think it affects so many different people in so many different ways.
My son said to me the other day, "Mommy, I don't want to go to high school." And I said, hey, you're in 2nd grade, don't worry, we have lots of time to prepare you for high school. And he said, no, I don't want to get shot. And that's a 2nd grader. So, my fear is that my children, and not just my children, but children across America are experiencing a lot of trauma.
I reached out to my students a little bit more that week. It was the idea that they might be hurting and that they might be thinking about self-harm, or they might be anxious or depressed, or they may have something going on at home that I don't know about and that I have. This is really emotional for me. I have to take my one chance to reach out to them right then and there, because I don't know if I'll get a chance to do that, so I have to do it today. And I've always thought that, but I think the shooting really brought it home to me.
I think the message I always try and convey the most intensely is that this is a problem that has solutions. We actually can reduce gun violence in America if we choose to implement the kinds of policies that work, that we know work, because they work in lots of places where we're testing that.
I think the future of education is, and it's going to sound sentimental and sappy, but it is absolutely young people.
I think that in our schools, we need to change the way we educate kids, and we have to teach them about how to take control of these issues, just like the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas kids. And we have to be more aware and informed about this so we can really make a change.
I hope that this motivates the adults in this country, especially to enable us to actually have relationships with one another.
All of these issues can be addressed if there's political will, and that's what we hope is happening right now with this Parkland situation, is that these kids and their energy are forcing political will, and that's what we need in order to implement change.
Every day, a teacher walks the hallways, prepare the room for their class, and hold their breath for what the day brings.
Good morning, class. I hope all of you are ready to talk about your assignment today. But first, who can tell me what activism is?
Activism is the policy or action of using vigorous campaigning to bring about political or social change.
Exactly. So after doing research, what social or political movement do you support?
I support Black Lives Matter. What about Blue Lives Matter?
Class, we need to respect each other's opinions and beliefs. As long as the goal is to bring change for the better and the good, all of these movements are important.
Everyone, there is a shooter in the building. This is not a drill. Please protect the students from danger. We can't find the school shooter. Please stay put and don't make any sound until we say you can't.
Before they went on strike, West Virginia teachers packed bags to make sure kids didn't go hungry.
Teacher adopts her student who was in foster care for 7 years. Every kid deserves a chance. The emotional moment a teacher volunteers her kidney to her sick student.
Teacher tackles gunman to save students' lives during shooting.
Students have needs on a daily basis, and teachers are always there to support their students. They do not complain, they serve for their students. Teachers do not just teach. They fight against hunger and poverty, against child abuse and bullying. They protect students' rights. They promote student empowerment. They become parents to the orphans. They are social workers. They are philanthropists. They save lives. Teachers teach and more.
Hello, pencil. You're simple, but you're pretty. What do I see in you? I see stories. I see a tool that embraces my imperfections, a tool that uncovers truth. I can use your eraser to clear obstacles, to make change. With you, the possibilities are endless. You make reality from my dreamland, for you are the power within my hands.
I see it. I see the future in our hands, we need it. Take it and run with it, my people scheming. Overcome negativity, it's seeping. Night tells just seal it. Energy chakra, yeah, we gotta feel it. Catch and grow. You never know, we can change the world. Rise above it and we grow. I see it. I see the future in our hands, we need it. We need it.
Everybody look around and see nothing but in the movies they could rise up. But when they turn around with the clear vision, they know this and they can never size up. This a nation of discrimination, some don't got the patience while we make creations. Targeting us for elimination as they do our part with no appreciation. But we still making our way to the top. Finances tight like a knot, working all around the clock. Mama's hustle never stop.
Like the sun will rise, that's a Maya in my eyes. It's the Rosa, Malcolm, and Claudette saying it's our time. Activism takes more than one. Leading my people to our success, cause believe me, there's more to come.
I see it. I see the future in our hands, we need it. Take it and run with it, my people scheming. Overcome negativity, it's seeping. Night tells just seal it. Energy chakra, yeah, we gotta feel it. Catch and grow. You never know, we can change the world. Rise above it and we grow. I see it. I see the future in our hands, we need it. Hey, we need it.
Hit 'em with a little bit of closure. Move through the past, it's over. We can't leave behind the loss and time we held up. Signs all about black lives. Try to move towards a better future. And all the precious time we knew ya. But don't get pulled over when the 12 can't hang. Or you reach for your pivots and it go bang bang. Yeah, go bang bang. Another man down, justice now. Try to scream out, but they don't hear a sound. Just can't hear it, or they just pretend. Just can't finish, but we can't beat the end. Unless it's to a bullet, the trigger they pull it. Man, that's true.
Like the sun will rise, that's a Maya in my eyes. It's the Rosa, Malcolm, and Claudette saying it's our time. Activism takes more than one. Leading my people to our success, cause believe me, there's more to come.
I see it. I see the future in our hands, we need it. Take it and run with it, my people scheming. Overcome negativity, it's seeping. Night tells just seal it. Energy chakra, yeah, we gotta feel it. Catch and grow. You never know, we can change the world. Rise above it and we grow. I see it. I see the future in our hands, we need it. Hey, we need
You
it.
and me, let's fight for our rights. Just hang tight, I'll be by your side. Don't give up, trying enough. It might be tough, do your best and good luck. You and me, let's fight for our rights. Just hang tight, I'll be by your side. Don't give up, trying enough. It might be tough, do your best and good luck.
Why?